It's scary. We need to put a disclaimer.
Okay.
Don't try this at home. I'm showing you and it looks real easy. And if you're competent or you're, then okay. But take it as this is, we're going to show you the alternative way to do it.
Right.
And the reason I like this way, and I've determined on this head, that's what I want to do. Why? All the seats are really good. I'm seeing stuff that I really like, and we don't want to go and be real invasive and put this in the oven. If this vibe job was so bad and I was going to have to cut a lot on the seats anyway and do a lot of stuff, and it was really crooked and stuff, then, but in this particular instance, this is a candidate for option 2. This is the candidate for option 2. We will go ahead and show it instead of just being done and going, the screen went black and all of a sudden, look, we're done.
Hey YouTube, it's Faye. It's still really freaking cold, but I know that y'all don't subscribe to this channel for my weekly San Antonio weather updates. Hopefully you are here for part 3 of the Supra Saga and the update on the cylinder head straightening. Obviously, you just heard Danny say, do not try this at home, so do not try this at home. If you try this at home and you mess something up, don't blame me or Danny for sharing this awesome knowledge with you. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it and check out how Danny straightened my frickin' cylinder head, y'all. Okay, here goes.
Okay, this is how we're gonna do it. We are going to physically bend this head back straight. There's several ways to do it. The easiest way, don't be scared, don't try this at home. We can put it on a press.
No way.
Yes, we can put it on a press. And right here in the center,
way. No
right here
way.
in the center where the bolt holes are, we're gonna put these 2 sleeves in here, and then we're gonna press the head right in the center while holding the sides up. And we're gonna physically bend the head back nice and straight. I'm gonna take my straight edge, which right now rocks really bad.
Yep.
You can hear it. So
I can see it.
Yeah.
Like,
the exhaust side will always be a little more. It takes more heat and it
Right.
bends more. So what we're gonna physically do is we're gonna basically put, not necessarily blocks, but we're gonna lift up both sides of the head. We're gonna put in these 2 standoffs right here with the bar across the top where I can get my straight edge inside.
okay.
Then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna press this head straight until the straight edge is beautiful. Exactly where we want it. You see it's taking quite a bit of pressure. And over here on the intake side, we're already there. You can see how it used to rock.
Yeah.
It still has a little rock. Over on the exhaust side, you can hear it. And it still has slightly, we're getting there. You can hear that. And over here, you can even hear the difference of it. It's dragging across the whole thing, and we don't have a rack anymore. So that's why I offset it high enough so I can get straight in and see what's going on. Oh man, our intake side is done.
What?
I mean, all we have to do now is we have to
yeah.
hold it at that place.
Right.
But now, if I put a cam in right now, we could take a time to put a cam in here. It would spin just perfect. I mean, it's nice. But we know now that I need a little more on this side. You see, it's still
Yep.
spins
Yep.
right in the
Yep.
center.
Exhaust
So
side.
I'm gonna loosen it. And I'm gonna move the head that way and put a little more pressure towards the side that needs to be done. We don't want to over straighten the side that's good.
And how much pressure are you putting on right now?
Right now, this.
Oh, I didn't see the gauge there.
There's a gauge. So we're at about 4.5 tons. Wow. Quite a bit of pressure. And I am using the hardened head bolt washers down on the head. So we're not just pressing on aluminum. We actually have the hardened head bolt washer just like a head bolt would be. And I'm also, here's another thing. We're simulating what has messed this up. If you notice, the plates aren't just put on anywhere. They're actually put on the 2 outer head bolt holes. So I have the plate where it's right on the outside bolt. So right on the outside bolt is where the plate is. Right on the outside bolt is where the plate is. And then I'm pressing right in the center on head bolts. So we're not just pressing anywhere on the head.
Right. It's where it's designed to be holding pressure
so
from
we're
the factory.
actually kind of reversing. It's, you know, if you're going to make some kind of sense of it, we're not just pressing anywhere, just trying to.
Right.
Let's see what we got now. Look at that. Now you can hear the difference. It's got a little bit in the center there. What are we doing over here? Still nice. Still very nice. Still got a lot over here. The exhaust side took a lot more than the intake side did. I'm gonna do it one more time. If you see, we finally got it. But I kept on moving it further out. We're almost pushing right on the head bolt.
Oh, look at that.
And look how far off it is on that side.
Yeah,
But this side of the head needed more. So if we would have put it right in the center, we could have overbent the intake side.
Ooh, okay.
And this is just, it's a kind of an art because you got to just take practice to figure out what's going on. I'm really liking this. I'm really liking it. We took care of the bow. If it could stay just like it is right now, that's the way it would have been from the factory. And what if we could suspend this head in that state while we did all our machine work? Well, that would be awesome because that'd be less invasive. Then we're not doing anything else. So we're going to use some metallurgy, and what we're going to do is all of the molecules in his head are now have tension and they're up like this. So we're going to straighten them. If there was a way that we could attach these in a suspended mode back this way, even if the head had a lot of tension in it, but straight, I could do all my machine work. I could do the surfacing. You could put it back on his head in the car, and then once in the car with the heat, it would stay that way. Okay? But how are we going to do that? Well, how are we going to do it? It's real scary. Don't try this at home. We're going to take a cutting torch. Here we go. I'm going to cut the head in half, and then no. So what we're going to do is there's certain places you need to look. I already know where I'm going to do it, but you don't want to heat where there's structure behind it. You'll never melt it, and you'll burn the whole head up. Okay. Right in here, in this particular head, it's super thin right here. It's super thin, doesn't have anything, and there's nothing structural there on this head all the way across. So while this is bent straight, if I come in here and I heat it up till it gets cherry red, that little spot, and just melt it, and then back off, it will cool and it will stay there.
What?
Yes. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 28 spots on this head that, now that it's straight, have softened and then cooled. And they're holding your head straight.
Oh my!
With a lot of tension in it.
Really high risk.
Yes. And if you look, it's just at the point that the aluminum starts to melt. Gets a little cherry spot. Then you can touch it. That's it. See that little circle? And that's all we're doing is we're softening it and then we're letting it get hard again. Another reason I clean the head before doing this, so that we don't have a smoky mess. And then sometimes on a really head that likes to bow back, we'll even come back in and do the outside. But I'd rather try first just a little bit. And you can
with
just see
less.
it's just little spots. It's not even, I'm touching it, so we haven't, it hadn't got any hotter. My hands are on it, hadn't got any hotter than what it'd be in the car. So the people are gonna go text and you messed the metallurgy of this head, oh my God, you softened the metal, when you're gonna go reharden the metal, it gets hotter in the car. I'm sure in the car you can't touch the head the way I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I just did it and it's already, I can hold my hands on it.
Yep.
I mean, it's warm, but it dissipates heat, fairly well. So we haven't changed the metallurgy of this head. It's just warm. It didn't get extremely hot. Let's see what we did on our first attempt. Most of the time it takes more than once, but let's just see what we got here. Just a little bit on the exhaust that it just didn't quite hold, but look at that.
Oh my God.
We have it. We have it. We have it. So we just have a little bit on the exhaust side. That still
And what
needs.
about in the journal? Oh my gosh.
We're so good that we might right now, we can easily press more. Why? We might right now bolt the cam in and just see what it does. I mean, we're really close. If you had a junk block there,
Yeah.
think about it. You could put this on a junk block. If you're at home, if all you do is Toyota, all you do is Hondas, all you do whatever, you could put it on a junk block. You could shim the two ends and put your two head bolts in the center and start tightening it, and you could straighten it on the block itself without any tools at all. If you don't have a straight edge, you don't need one. You have a straight edge. You have a camshaft.
Oh.
How hard would it be to just lay the cam in here and see if it's turning?
turns,
Press it
yeah.
a little more and see if it's turning until the cam gets perfectly fine.
Doesn't it have to be really precise though?
It does, but if the cam turns, you're there. It only has
Oh,
1.5 thousandths clearance.
That's okay. It is precise
It is
on its
precise.
own. Yeah.
So even though it's primitive, I mean, tighten it until your cam's turned fine without any tools. Oh, my cam's turning fine. Take your torch out and heat it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I could have done this at home. I have a spare 7M block.
Yeah. So you could have.
I have.
So
I don't know if I'd ever trust myself to do it at home though. I'm happy to have you do it.
yeah, you can watch a video on a guy doing open heart surgery. It's not probably something I want to go do myself. But,
True that.
But it works. It works. The thing is that it can be very dangerous. See all of these lifter buckets here.
Yep.
Where they go in there. If you sit there and you torch it here, and it were stupid, this is going to distort. I don't want to distort this in here. It's all suspended, hanging in there. So if I try to heat it up in here, it'll straighten the head out, and then I can't put my lifter buckets back in. Now when it hardens again, it stays there. So we're letting all those spots hold our head straight. And that's it, you're done. And you could literally do it at home with 2 pieces of wood, drill some holes in your table, put 2 bolts, and get your cam spinning perfect, and get your torch out. Don't try it at home, but watch your video over and over again. It can be done, and it's less invasive. You're not putting a head in the oven. If you put a head in the oven, everything has to come off the head because you're going to cook everything.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, you could have guides that slip. You could have seats that slip. You're really invasive. We do it a lot of times on heads that are really warped, oddball ways. And if we're doing a complete build, where you're getting on your seats, on your guides, put it in the oven.
Right. Like if I had come to you at first instead of the other machine shop with my warped head because it needed everything anyway with 200,000 miles on it.
But this one here,
But not now.
It's so good, and really this way, like I said, hopefully other shops will learn and go, man, you know what? Now we can start adding straightening to our repertoire of what we do without extra things. Like I said, I have an actual straightening oven. We have the head, we have all the tools and stuff. But I found that this way is really the way to do it.
How long have you been doing it like this?
For a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was freaking awesome. Scary, but the thing that I've learned out of all of this is how simple everything is. I mean, obviously this stuff takes a lot of practice, but the way that Danny explains everything just makes so much sense, and this has just been such a cool experience. So there are a couple follow-up questions that I had that I also wanted to include in this video, so I will share them with you now. And the first one that I had was, all right, have you ever messed up a head, Danny? And are there any heads that like maybe would not be a good candidate for this? Obviously at the beginning of the video, he's talking about why my head is a good candidate. So I was just curious, what would make a head a bad candidate for this method? So here's the answer.
Not every head is for the candidate for that.
Right.
In all my time doing this, many years, I've only broken one head. For some reason, the Volkswagen head, the tall. That's why the shorter the head, the better. The taller the head, the harder. And
What kind of Volkswagen?
It was a little Volkswagen Jetta. It was a Volkswagen Jetta, and now little shorty, little Volkswagen Jetta. Been doing a lot of different heads. Now I tell everybody from then is I don't do it that way, but understand there is a chance you could crack a head. And there is that chance.
That's the other engine I got. So
yeah, and out of all of them, the only one ever, and that head just clacked. It would clack, and that was it. It didn't bend. Whatever the metal was in it didn't flex. That head, just the metallurgy in that head and the alloys that's in the head was not really liking being straightened. Those we line bore. Those now I know I won't even try to straighten one. Not the only one I've ever broken, but like I said, it didn't flex. It clacked. I've done these. We've done. It's just that one's the only one.
you've done these before.
Yes. So we don't have to worry about these. I was telling you, there's always a chance. But the shorter the head, and I can see here there has a lot of places that are going to love that. You got heads that are real thick in areas. There's no place to do it. There's no place to get in there and really do it right. So that ain't going to be a candidate. But like I said, for whatever reason, the Volkswagen Jetta is just a brittle head. When I started flexing it, and it wasn't warped that bad.
The 8-valve?
It was the 2 valves per cylinder.
Yeah.
8-valve head, little bitty head.
Yeah, that's exactly the one I have in my rabbit. I swapped into my Rabbit.
And I just straightened it a little bit. And it literally just was the most scary, and if you ever heard anything crack, when you hear clack, it's
I get scared just pressing out bearings when they go. I still sort of scream and jump.
I don't know why. It's the oddest thing, just putting a little pressure on it and clack, and I knew something, and then I had to search the whole head over, and sure enough, that thing cracked in two from the inside out.
And now, will this damage, is there, obviously you said there's risk of damaging the head, but, if you bend metal too much, it breaks eventually.
You can fatigue the metal.
Fatigue, that's the word I was looking for.
And I don't usually work good with words. But yes, when you bend back and forth, it hardens the metal right there and it fatigues it. And it could. The neat thing about this is we're just bending it back, but we're not excessively like taking it past the point where we're going back and forth. It's already bent this way. That's another thing. It's already this way. So how can we hurt it? We're just putting it back where it used to be. Okay. And by not, like I said, we can put it in the oven, release all the molecules, let them all get loose, let it straighten, and then all the molecules all come back in, and they're all nice and tight. We're going to do basically the same thing by holding it, but no, I have not had in all the years of doing this, like I said, one cracked head. So don't try this at home. Was that a part of the thing?
And definitely don't try this with a Volkswagen.
Volkswagen, I would say right now, don't go this particular procedure. But no, we're not going to go into soften the head also. We're not softening the head because we're not excessively heating it up. So we're going to be good.
So then the second question that I had, now that I know that if I warp the cylinder head on my other car, that this will not work. The second question that I had was like, why haven't I heard of this before? And I think this is something that a lot of y'all said too, is like, we've all heard of resurfacing, why haven't we heard of head straightening? And not necessarily this method that he's using here, because there's obviously some reasons why we haven't heard of this, but like head straightening in general. Why don't machine shops do this? Why don't machine shops offer this? Why isn't something that's talked about? Why is this not mainstream? So. I thought this would have taken hours. I had no idea.
Here's another thing too. Stop fighting it, people. Shops. This is, you're helping people and you're bringing more ink. In other words, the other process takes overnight. The other process takes, if I'm doing it during the day, if it's cold, I'll do it during the day. It's going to go in the oven for 4, 5, 6 hours. And then it's going to slowly get up to temperature. We're going to hold it there to straighten the process. Then we're going to cool it slowly. We're not going to just open the door and let it start cooling real fast.
Yeah, because that can mess it up?
Yeah, well, yes, most definitely. We're being more invasive.
Yes.
We don't want anything to hit the oven and then shake it and vibrate it and guides fall out and seeds fall out. So you take it to the edge of destruction and then bringing it back from there to do it correctly.
Yeah.
That's why no one wants to do it. It's not profitable for the shop. I have one oven and I got 8 heads that I got to get done today. So guess what? Embrace this way to do it, and it's quicker. You're helping the customer. It's not black art. It is, but you'll get a hang of it. Do a couple of junk heads. I mean, this is the way to go.
thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that so many of you have enjoyed this series so far. It's really encouraging me to take the time to do this build right and document all of it so that I can learn from rewatching Danny talk like a million times to sort of soak it all in and really gain the knowledge and then share it with y'all. And thank you so much to all of my new subscribers who have been commenting and just been super positive. It's just been encouraging me to take YouTube a little bit more seriously instead of just doing like a hobby, but like really trying hard to purposefully put out more good content rather than just being sort of random about it. So stay tuned because next week I will bring you part 4, and that is sort of fitment of the cams with the old cams and the new cams and that process as well. And the reason why I really wanted to put this out today, Friday, well, today's Thursday actually, but why I wanted to put this out on Friday is because I'm picking up the head on Saturday and that's when it's going to be done. So I wanted to get a chance to read your comments and see if there were any more questions that y'all had for Danny that I could ask while I was there, and also see if there were any more requests. I've gotten a lot of requests so far of things that you would like to see from this video series, and it allowed me to ask more questions and film some more stuff and yeah, and share more stuff with y'all. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being a part of this series, and thanks for your contributions and your interesting comments. And I look forward to seeing you next week in my next video. Okay, bye.